Hey guys.
Hello. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
It's that time again.
Aren't you looking glowy today?
Thanks, son.
Got a little bit of sun in the past week, didn't you?
Oh, is that what you mean? I was like, oh, I got a nice aura around me that I look
Yes.
nice and glowy.
Yep.
We missed last week. We didn't even say sorry or anything.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Sorry.
Where were we on Wednesday last week? Was it
Oh, big
St. Kitts? No.
St. Thomas.
Yeah. So we were kind of busy and didn't get to do a live stream. Last year we did a live stream on.
We did.
I
have a Zoom meeting on Wednesday mornings. I missed that too because we were out.
Yeah, we were out and about. But
out and about. Hello.
Welcome in, Alice. Good to see you here tonight.
Thanks for coming and watching.
Absolutely. So yeah, we just got back Sunday night.
At like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, finally got home about 9 o'clock Sunday night. Got up the next morning.
Hi, Eddie.
Hey, Eddie. Yep. Say hi to Eddie. Hey, and it is Tanisha.
Hello, Tanisha. Welcome in.
She was one of our partners in crime on the cruise. Didn't get to spend as much time with her as we would have liked to.
No.
It's so crazy busy when you're on that big of a ship.
There's
just so much to do.
Let me tell you what. 7 days is not enough time to do everything that you want to do on that size of a cruise ship.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine doing a 3 or 4 day on the Utopia.
On the Utopia, yeah. I mean, it's like, okay, well, we saw a little bit of the ship, but didn't see much else, especially if you had any port days.
Yeah.
And actually got off the ship. But yeah, it was, we had, what was it, 7,100 passengers, something like that. Hey, welcome
Cruise
in.
Addicts. Welcome.
Welcome in, guys. Yeah, it was something like 7,100 passengers.
I knew it was 7,000 or a little over 7,000.
Yeah, and it was a little bit over 100% capacity, something like that.
Destination Fun, hello.
Oh, Destination Fun, welcome in. 3 days on Utopia, barely got to do anything.
Yeah,
just not enough time.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine that.
I mean, 7 days on Hicon's not enough time.
Tanisha says, can't wait until we board Star of the Seas. Awesome.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
You guys going fun. With on Sherry's group or on your own? Yeah. Alice said, "Wow, that's a lot of people. Did it feel crowded since the ship is so big?" That's one of the things that we wanted to talk about tonight.
Yes, and we can just mention it very lightly here, and then we can go into it later or what. But because of the way that the newer ship or the Icon specifically is laid out, you do not feel like there are that many people on the cruise ship.
I have to agree. There's 7,000 so many people on our cruise. Now, last year we couldn't get an exact number, but they told us that it was 60 to 80%.
Some said 60%, some said 80%.
Yeah, 60 to 80% capacity. Really so something around those, around that range. Let's see, Tanisha
and
says
there
my
were
mom
some
will
things...
be going on her first cruise on Star of the Seas.
Oh, that is very exciting.
That is definitely an experience. It's going to be a great experience for her, I'm sure. Hey, Sail Whiskey Dream.
Hello, welcome in.
Welcome in. Good to see you here tonight.
Yeah. But I did feel like there were certain aspects on that first sailing last year that were a little more crowded.
Yes.
Than this one.
I will absolutely agree with that.
At a fuller capacity.
Right. We were on the inaugural cruise last year. So there were certain events that were just absolutely jam-packed.
Mm-hmm.
The balloon drop on the first night. Oh.
And Tanisha
Down Under Cruisers.
Hello, welcome in. Good day. Talked about how she didn't say that it felt crowded for them either.
A lot of people, but I didn't feel crowded. Yep. That's basically the way we felt. But anyway, last year on the inaugural cruise, of course, it was a cruise with,
Hey, Scott, welcome in.
probably 20 to 30% of the capacity were cruise vloggers.
Right.
So they were all out getting content. There were tons of people and
Yes,
cameras.
and that's what I came to kind of think of as it progressed, were the shows.
The shows
were
the parades,
busier at earlier than specifically, like, so this time we're like, oh, we got to get there,
Yeah.
and then we got there and it didn't fill up until
Right.
like a half hour later or something.
Yeah, last year we went to the balloon drop. The entire Royal Promenade was packed. I mean, you were shoulder to shoulder with people across the entire Royal Promenade, and it is huge.
Yes.
And this time, the balloon drop,
it was like half.
Yeah, maybe half as many people. Oh, there's Jim B, another one of our partners in crime from that cruise. Welcome in. So yeah, it was very eerie and odd that there was so few people at some of those events.
Right, and that there was like a little less than double
Yeah,
the people that we had last year.
I mean, we probably had 5,000 people on the ship last year.
That's
just guessing.
Yeah, right.
And this time we had 7,100 or so.
Right. So that's the size of a cruise ship.
Right.
More on this cruise.
But I mean, there were half as many people at the balloon drop. The parade, what did they call it? The Ships Ahoy parade or whatever in the promenade. Last year, we went to the first one, couldn't get a spot where you could even see the parade.
Right. So we went to
the second one that they had. This year, I think they only had one.
No, they had two.
Did they have two?
They had two.
We went to the first one, got there like an hour early
to make sure
that we could see it, and got a great seat.
Yeah.
And watched the whole thing, and it never really got that crowded. Maybe down below it got crowded, but we were on the second level just so that we could see everything. We got into all the shows. There was no overcrowding that I saw in the shows that we were at.
Yeah. Not really.
We did have the key, so we got,
so we were able to get the seat.
Yeah, we were able to get a seat.
But as far as, no matter people lining up and stuff like that, it really, the only one, well, even the comedy show, but that opened up and.
Yeah, we went to the comedy show, which we didn't get to do last year because we couldn't get tickets.
That wasn't preferred seating.
And there was no preferred seating. We were allowed in early. Well, no, we were allowed in early because we had tickets.
Oh, and reservation.
We had reservations.
And it was the late show.
And it was the last show in the attic.
Yeah, in the attic.
And they opened it up for everyone to come in, and there were still a dozen or more empty seats at least. We were trying to get in touch with some of our friends and saying, hey, come on over. There's empty seats. You can come see the show. But
even with the dueling piano.
Yeah.
I noticed that it was busy, but there
were times when there were crowds outside the door.
There were.
And that's where it was last year. But if you got there after a show ended or something, normally the seats opened up and you could find a good seat. So I was somewhat impressed as far as that goes. The only place that you really felt the crowds were the pools. But I'm sure it's like that on any ship.
That's at the pool or in the pool.
In the pool, yeah.
Because there were plenty of empty loungers.
No, there were loungers
and places
everywhere.
To sit everywhere. Yeah. So that you were never at a loss for seating.
Right.
Anywhere. So,
but if you wanted a lounger near the pool
or get in the pool,
or be able to get in the pool, because
we're going to talk about the pools though a little later. But I'm going to kind of go up a little bit. We had a question from Carnival Cruise Addict.
Oh, there we go.
And
did they have pickleball on the ship?
And the answer is yes. They had 2 courts.
They had 2 courts. Yes. So their sports court, which is on the highest deck, it did have 2 courts.
Had 2 courts.
Better than any other ship that we've been on was the fact that they had plexiglass barriers around, to like 8-10 feet up.
And I will say that it was windier in West Palm playing at the courts there on land than it was
On the
at
ship.
sea
Yeah,
on the ship.
I'll agree. The other ships that we played on, let's see, Celebrity, I think they only had it when we were in port. They only opened the pickleball court.
Days,
yeah, there were only a couple of days. Holland America, you could go play any day. Sometimes they would close it down because it was too windy, but there was no cover or anything like that, and they only had one court. But it wasn't that busy. This ship, wow,
there was
it was
lot
busy.
of interest in playing
2
pickleball.
courts, so you can have 8 people playing at any one time, and there were 30 or more people waiting.
Yes, so we had it where we played 7 minutes.
Yeah, they
rotated it out every 7 minutes.
Every 7 minutes, a new set of people would get on the courts and play, and so you got a little bit of play in.
Yeah, after a couple times, there was one where they were stopping, and I was trying to do the math, and I was like, "All right, so if this is over at 12:30, and there, we only have like a half hour left, and there's 2, 3 more. Like, okay, well, nope, it's not worth sitting out, and then
not worth sitting because we're not going to get on the courts again. So and originally, I would say that there was scheduled a pickleball tournament, but it disappeared from our schedule.
It did. So. We couldn't find it.
Yeah,
it was probably too much.
Yeah, probably too many people, and there were some good players.
Yeah,
on this ship. I haven't seen quite that level of play before. So, but I guess you got a bigger population, you got more players, more people coming out to play. It's
getting more popular too.
Yeah.
And they had, from what it looked like, they had decent paddles, and
a lot of people did bring their own paddles.
The balls, oh my gosh.
Oh.
They have the plexiglass that came all the way down, but it would go under the glass and then pop up over the thing. I think that the one, at least on the one side, it may have gone overboard. On the other side, at least you can find it.
Yeah. They had the plexiglass that came down on either side, but like Laurie said, it had a gap at the bottom about like that. So the ball rolled just right. It would go underneath that, bounce over the little lip, and go down to the next deck. And so so
it wasn't open, but it was kind of like this.
The sports guy that was running everything, he would have to run down a deck every once in a while to chase balls because they were going everywhere. I mean, about every game you would lose a ball.
Or 2 or 3
over the deck. Yeah. So it was a bit challenging as far as that goes. So anyway,
you can take that down now.
Oh yeah. All right.
So what's next? Do we go to the pools?
Okay.
Or you want to save the pools?
The pools, yes. All right, you two.
Guess who that was?
Cats.
So, Corey and I don't get a lot of opportunity to go to the pools, especially on sea days.
Yeah.
And throughout the ship.
Always running around.
It's not that we don't want to.
It's just
it's very busy, and we will tend to do other things.
Yeah.
Because there's usually a lot to do. So, we only went to one specific pool this time. We went to a couple of different hot tubs.
Yeah,
we went to a handful of hot tubs, but not.
Sometimes you could get in the hot tubs, which other times it was shoulder to shoulder in the hot tubs. But let's see. Most of the general pools were full.
They're full.
The Hideaway, the adults only area, they have a very small pool there anyway.
It's very difficult to find space there. You have to get there early.
A beautiful location. I mean, it's not like a solarium on some of these ships where you're pretty much completely enclosed and you can see the sky, but that's about it.
It's the back of the ship.
It's the back of the ship. You've got an infinity pool there. And so everybody goes there. It was always packed. Yeah, hot tubs are just pee germ fest anyway.
We're gonna kind of get into a conversation that is.
Are we gonna go that far?
It depends on our guests and what
Okay. All right.
how much they want to know and talk about.
Well, we can
We're
can
gonna
talk about
mention
what
what
happened.
Yeah,
Um,
We're gonna talk about that.
yeah.
But so and pools, yeah, she couldn't get in,
Yeah.
and so there was one pool that we went to a few times.
Yeah. There was one pool that we went to a
And
few times, and we could actually get in. It wasn't
yeah,
terrible packed, which was a bit surprising.
yeah.
But of course, that
There-
let's hear about it.
yeah.
All right. So it was Swim and Tonic.
Yep.
Swim and Tonic is the swim up bar pool on Icon.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a nice bar area. It's got seating in the water
Yeah.
along the edges.
Yeah.
So it's a really neat area. You've got some shade there. You've got some sun there. You've got loungers that are in, ankle deep water.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so,
And then there's a hot tub right off of there as well.
and
So
hot tub right
it
next
has
to
a
it.
nice little area. So
Yeah. But yeah.
So can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we went to the pool, what, 3 times?
3 times. Well, 2 or
2.
3 times. Yeah. I
2.
don't remember.
And it was closed both of those times.
While we were in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it was closed another time the next day.
Yeah. At least
we didn't
time.
go that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
of something that happens on cruise ships very often. Can
little too
anybody
often.
tell us what would close a pool down?
Yeah.
I'll give you guys a minute.
Anybody want to take a guess in chat? What would close a pool down?
No guesses?
There
Yes! Ding,
we go.
ding,
Ding, ding, ding, ding, ding. That is the correct answer.
So,
yeah. So,
because the first time it happened, I was watching. I don't
lifeguard.
It was a lifeguard.
Yeah.
She had gloves on, and she had,
she had the little
skimmer thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going, oh god.
She's looking in it and looking in it. It's like, oh, what is this? She goes over to the shower area and looks, picks up her whistle and whistles.
That was it.
And that was it.
And we're like, oh, damn,
man.
we're like in this pool.
In the pool.
And so this is a swim up bar.
A swim up bar.
Where
alcohol. That's the only thing to do there is to lounge around and get drinks right there.
And so there's a little controversy because people would say that it was kids, and then other people would say it was adults, and so you never really knew if it was kids or adults, and so
yeah. All I know is that there are a lot of kids that are playing in that pool.
Mm-hmm.
While their parents,
Baby Ruth,
Baby Ruth,
right. Baby Ruth. And there were, and they were not bad. They were just swimming around. They were having fun. They're adults. I don't know how many adults were there, but their adult was drinking too. And
yes, it's a mystery how that happens. I just don't know. As an adult, I can honestly say that I have never pooped in the pool.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here, okay? I haven't either, but people wouldn't admit it even if they did. Come on now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you'd have to be seriously.
I mean, if you have stomach issues or whatever, that's one thing, but it would be different.
I would think so.
And I don't know that you would even know.
Yeah.
But I don't think we need to really have this conversation.
Yeah.
However, so this is very common, and it happened in what at the swim up bar, and I know it happens a lot at other pools too. So
yeah,
never pooped in the pool.
Pee may be a different story. Well,
yeah, that is what it is. That's why they use lots of strong chemicals.
Yep.
So that's it.
Yeah, I mean, you could have a lot of conversations about that. I mean, honestly, there are plenty of options for kids.
There are.
They've got an entire neighborhood dedicated to
with a
kids
splash pad,
with a splash
and
pad
a pool.
and pools.
Actually,
And there's
it's an infinity pool.
Yeah. So there are tons of options there.
Arcades.
Do they really need to be in the pool that's serving alcohol? I don't know.
And I don't know if this is a topic that, we can talk about.
I mean,
I
what do you think? I mean, let us know.
And he does it every day in the Super Bowl. Very, very nice.
There you go. So, I mean, what do you think? It's a swim up bar. There are plenty of other pools. Should they make that adults only? Whether it's poop or not, or whether it was a kid's pooping or not, should they maybe say no kids in the pool with alcohol? That's serving alcohol.
I'm all about kids and our grandkids and all that, and families and stuff like that. This has nothing to do with that.
Yeah,
but I have to say I do lean more for, and especially we're in the alcohol industry, so there's a lot of liability and stuff like that. But it's an adult, or it's a swim up pool with adult beverages, and
right.
So should that be considered an adult only area? And it's not.
Especially when you consider that
right now,
that the actual adult only area is never accessible, and it doesn't have a swim up bar.
What's that?
It's Hideaway.
Oh, that's correct. It doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a bar there, but it's not a swim up bar.
There's a bar.
Yeah. So let's see. Play the CCTV tapes. Yeah, and if we could only get Royal Security to give us those, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Adults pee in the pool. Don't tell me you have a swim up bar and they're sitting there for hours there peeing. You know it.
I will tell you, in every single pool,
agree.
That is what I say, because they don't get out of the pool. They get out of the pool, they lose their spot. They don't want to do that. Somebody stays, gets their drink, goes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And Sherry says, see you soon, Eddie. Yep, we will see you guys soon.
I agree.
In Helen.
I will not be going in the heated pool either.
Yeah, we didn't go in last year. Of course, it was cold as.
I'll get out.
I'll get out.
Yeah.
All right, here we have an opinion.
Oh!
Yes, I think that pool should be adults only.
And it's not marked adults only, so we can't
not.
say yes, it should be, or not that it should be, but yes, it is, or anything like that. But and there's, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not that big either.
It's not that big, and there were times when it was difficult to get out of the pool. Get away from the bar and get out of the pool because of all the kids playing.
That I will agree on that, because they swim. It's adults are kind of standing there drinking, kind of dipping and moving around a little bit, but not like swimming. And so it was hard at times to navigate around.
Yeah. So anyway.
All right, we lived a little.
Yeah, we lived a little. What else can we say about our adventure on Icon? We did the exact same itineraries we had last year.
We did.
So there was nothing really new as far as that goes, except we got off in St. Thomas.
Which we didn't last year.
Which we did not last year.
Because we wanted to check out the Hideaway.
Yeah. We took the opportunity last year to check out all the pools on the ship, because we went to the Hideaway. We actually were able to get in the Hideaway. In fact, if you look at our Icon video from last year, you'll see we did a kiss cam there.
Cam fam.
Cam fam, welcome in, welcome in. We went in swim and tonic, and we went in several other pools as well. And we got to do some things that were just kind of too busy. Did we do the water park that day too? I think we may have.
We may have.
We may have.
So we did some things this time that we didn't do last time, and we didn't do things this time that we did last time.
Yeah.
So, and it still wasn't long enough.
Between the two trips, we got to everything.
Did we though?
Mostly.
We didn't do the escape room.
No, we didn't do the escape room, but yeah. I mean, I didn't do the Crown's Edge either.
We didn't go up to the spa.
No.
The Crown's Edge.
I mean, there were things that we didn't do, but we didn't really want to do. Like
Okay,
last year.
That's a fair statement. Okay.
Last year we didn't get to the comedy club because we couldn't get in.
Yeah,
This
we
year
wanted
did.
to, but we couldn't. Right. And this
Last
year we got it.
We didn't.
The Pearl Cafe, I will say, was a lot busier this time than it was last year.
That's for sure.
And that was one of our favorite spots.
It was.
There were great sunsets, and it was just a good place to hang out. And there was so many times we went over there and couldn't get a spot to sit.
Yeah, I mean, last year, Pearl Cafe was pretty much empty most of the time.
Yeah.
Which was kind of strange because there's so many places to sit or work on your laptop or whatever and plug in. There's power at each of the seats. Mm-hmm. And it was a great place to just sit, hang out, have a cup of coffee, tea, whatever. This year, forget about it. It was packed all the time. Mm-hmm. So that was a little bit disappointing.
That was the only place that was really that busy.
Yeah. I mean, I would have liked to spend some more time there. Mm-hmm. And we did actually spend some time in the Overlook in the front of the Aquadome.
First time we went to the bar.
First time we went to the bar.
We didn't make it to the bar last year.
No, we didn't. Of course, we didn't have a drink package last year either.
We did this time, and we hit every bar.
Yes.
Not all in one day.
Not all in one day. No.
If you do the math, I think there's 17 bars. If you do 3 a day or something like that, you can do them all. So we did it responsibly. All
right. Good night, Carnival Cruise addicts.
Thank you.
Hopefully you will make it next year because it's going to be a blast. Mm-hmm. I tell you, that's one thing that I can say is that we have been going. You know, we got back 9:00 last night, slept in our own bed. Sunday night. Slept in our own bed, got up the next day, went into work for a half day, and then we had to go to Gatlinburg for a food show. Business trip overnight. So we went to Gatlinburg Monday afternoon, came back Tuesday afternoon, yesterday.
3 o'clock.
Slept in our own bed last night, and we get 2 more nights in our own bed, and then Friday we're off to Helen for the YouTuber meetup.
Yeah. And then so we come back Sunday, and then Monday late afternoon I'm leaving. And I can't remember where it's at. I don't remember where it's at, but it's a few hours. It's a good hours away. I'm going to a conference. So Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll be back Thursday. So
and I got to get up first thing in the morning and drive 3 hours to Hickory and drop off beer for the competition. So another beer competition. Yeah, everybody says that's your dinner more. Well,
yay!
That's a sacrifice. It's kind of hard to mail beer. Nobody wants to take it.
And Hickory's 3 hours away?
2.5, 3 hours, something like that. So,
great.
Yeah, busy. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, exciting. A little too
exciting
much.
Life.
So we talked about the Overlook. We went there.
And I mean, they've got those pods in the Overlook. We
still
really
have not
wanted
been able to get in the pods, but we only attempted once.
Yeah, we really only attempted once. And the weird thing about those pods, I don't know if you've seen them on any of the videos and stuff, but it's like you don't know if anybody's up there until you climb the stairs and you see them. Excuse me.
Hello.
See someone lounging on a couch or something. Oh, sorry. Didn't know anybody was up here.
If they're not lounging on the couch, you can potentially see the tops of their head.
Yeah, you might be able to. But I mean, it's a great view from back there or from up there because it's the front of the Aquadome.
I wouldn't know. I haven't gotten up there yet.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Overlook is pretty cool. And the last time, so our favorite place, favorite place to have a drink was the Ryan Bean, which is the coffee and the tea bar.
Yep.
And
in the Aquadome.
Yep, and I would say that was not my favorite this time.
Yeah, we went there once and
they just didn't
had a couple of drinks.
Too much. Well, hello, Sherry.
Welcome in, and there is our queen of crime. Sherry, who led our group on the Icon. So
yes,
welcome in, Sherry.
So what was your favorite place on the Icon this time the same as it was last time?
I would have to say no,
Really?
because we went to a lot of different places this time, and we
So
did different
so
things.
what was your favorite last time?
Last time, I really enjoyed um, the Pearl Cafe
Mhm.
area. That was probably my favorite, like lounging area. Um, but we really didn't get to a whole lot. We didn't really settle like that much, I guess you'd say.
No, he keeps me running and running and running all the
I
time.
keep you running. Yeah, I'm the one that sets that schedule, huh?
Mm.
Yes, it was very nice to meet you in person as well. It was a great trip. I wish we would have gotten to spend more time
With the group.
with the group. Um, Unfortunately, they had a nice large table for the group, but somehow we got put at a separate table because it wasn't quite big enough for
Well, they
our
could have
large
made
group.
it on the other
I
side.
guess they could have, but they didn't.
Yeah.
We got assigned
So,
to a weird table, so we
yeah.
didn't really get to see everyone and have
Mhm.
dinner and conversation with everyone. We did one night when about half the crew wasn't there. So.
Yeah. All right.
But-
So what was your favorite one this time? Did you say it?
I don't know.
You don't know. He doesn't know.
I mean, we really got around this time, going
Hey,
to
speak
every
for
bar.
yourself, Mister. I get around.
I mean, we went to every bar on the ship. Uh, what?
Oh, the bar, the favorite bar?
Well, I mean, we didn't really.
The best drinks were, well, one of my favorite places was the 1400 bar because
1400.
they had some
pretty
really
cool.
great, really cool drinks.
They did,
Um,
and we didn't get back there much though.
no,
We went there the one
we
time.
wanted to, but
Um,
then I want to say the Overlook bar.
Yeah.
Because the bartenders, Stephen and Samuel, were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And made a
The
great
Hideaway
drink.
bar was pretty cool too. That would
Yeah,
be
I didn't really. Which one? That was in
that was the back of the ship in the Hideaway.
Yeah, we were not there very long though, so I can't say that I.
Well, you showed up kind of late.
Yeah, what was I
So,
doing? Was
I don't know what you were doing.
Was I getting around?
I
Wait, is
guess
that
you were
what you
getting
said?
around.
Hope I was getting
Hey,
around.
we got Scott, the controversial cruising.
Hello,
Welcome in.
hello. We were just talking about how Corey gets around.
Okay. Well, gosh, it's hard, kind of hard to remember.
Oh, why? Did you have a drink package?
Yes, I had a drink package. So, I know that we went to every bar.
We did, but not like we said, not every day.
It's interesting. Some of the bars had their own signature drinks and their own signature drink menu. Other ones had kind of a shared signature drink menu.
Yes.
Like the music hall, dueling pianos, karaoke. They all had like kind of a music themed specialty drink menu, but they were they were kind of not that interesting, I guess.
What was that? The shared drinks?
Yeah, the shared drink menu, like you had at the music hall, dueling pianos, karaoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the three that I recall had pretty much the same one.
There was was it this?
He says we'll always have the balloon drop on Icon.
The balloon drop was a lot of fun.
Balloon drop was cool.
What was that one bar that we've got that Purple Desert margarita? Was that the Schooner bar? It was bright purple. I got pictures too. In fact, I have a lot of pictures of the drinks and some of the food and artwork and stuff. So I'm going to start doing like a series of posting on social media And
Cool.
like, because we have lots of fun, colorful pictures
Yeah.
of drinks.
But yeah, most of the bars had a custom menu with some very, very unique drinks. Like the drink that I got at 1400, where they did the smoke bubble on top of it.
I have a video of that. I was going to post it today, and I didn't get a chance to do it. So I have that. That is.
So if you don't follow us on Facebook or on Instagram, make sure you do so you can see all those cool pictures.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh, I was looking for that.
Looking through the pictures.
Desert.
Oh yeah, there's just.
Yeah. That was the. So the one. This one is the desert. Yeah, thank you.
Tilted like there you go.
Okay, there we go.
Get out of the lights, but yeah. And they had a lot of drinks that
they had black
put
salt
flowers on, and the black salt. And then of course, if you go to Cantina Fresca right there at El Loco Fresh, that's their official margarita bar where they've got dozens of different kinds of margaritas. And
should we tell them about this stuff? Should we talk about that?
Oh, the wine tasting.
Yeah,
we did a premium wine tasting,
which was not in the plans.
Yeah, it wasn't in the plans. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, my dad is a wine drinker, and he likes to do that stuff. And I was like, no, we got to pay. He's like, oh, I want to do it. Let's do it. So, well, okay.
So we did it, and it was all from like a single family of wineries.
Yes. The Caymans.
Caymus. Was it
Cayman? Cayman. The N, I thought.
No, I think it
was all right. Famous, I got to look it up. Pardon me for a second.
Yeah. So it was very interesting. Very good.
Camus, M-U-S.
Yeah, Camus.
Camus.
Caymus. Family of wines. Now we had the Camus Cabernet, right?
Oh my God, that was.
Any wine drinkers out there? Our new favorite wine at home is Mayomi. That's in that
Pinot
same
Noir.
The Mayomi Pinot Noir. That's right. They make multiple kinds of Mayomi. But the Camus was like a Mayomi on steroids. It really was. It was just a phenomenal wine. But on the ship, I think it was $60 a bottle too, or more, or something like that. Yeah, crazy prices. But anyway, it was really good.
Yeah. So that was interesting. It was kind of full and it was kind of tight. So the wine tasting.
Yeah, it was. We were packed in.
There could have been more room because they didn't have a full table, so they could have pulled a couple chairs out and kind of gave you a little room. And that would be my only complaint, was that it was very tight.
Yeah, and the person that was running it wasn't the most knowledgeable.
No.
I guess we're a little bit spoiled because, for 2 years with our wine tasting, was it probably? Our wine rep would come in and we would select the wines for our wine tasting. He'd bring in samples and things, and we'd taste them and decide which ones we were going to do for our wine tasting for our customers.
And we would talk about it. What are the notes? What do you taste? This, that, and the other. So
the different things that you taste in it. And then he would come in and he would present the wine tasting as a special event for our customers. And he knew his stuff. He knew everything there was to say about that wine, whether it was aged in stainless steel or in barrels or concrete.
Always. He studied the tech sheets.
Yeah, he studied the tech sheets.
And when we did the tastings, he kind of knew more,
So, to that extent, he seemed to be very knowledgeable, or at least he studied the wines that he was talking about enough to where he could talk about them.
Was he a sommelier?
I don't think he was a sommelier. No.
Okay,
sommelier. Okay. Yes.
All right. Anyway, let's move on. But it was, if you've never done it before and you do like to drink wine and you want to spend the extra money, there is an additional cost.
Yeah, I think we got a discount on that because we had the drink package. I think it was.
Was it the drink package, or was it
Yeah,
because
it was
we're
the drink
a
package.
gold member?
No,
Or dad
that
was a platinum member or something.
no. I don't think that did anything for
Oh
you.
no,
But
we did get a
I
little
think
bit of a discount on that.
Yeah, it was normally like $40 for the wine tasting, or the premium wine tasting, and I think we only paid like 25
I have no
for
idea.
it. So I think that's what I remembered hearing.
Okay.
If you're interested.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So what's next? Is there
What's
any
next?
questions you guys have? What comparison do you want to know? We could talk about the shows a little bit.
Yeah.
There were different cast members.
Yeah.
There were also some of the same. Like some of the ones I kind of remembered, but
yeah. So let's
not so much.
Wizard of Oz. Same great show.
One thing I will say, and I put this in the survey, the shows at the venues are very loud, like overly loud.
They can be kind of loud, yeah.
And even for me, I don't have any hearing issues or anything, but if I did, I don't know if I'd be able to stay and listen to a show because they were like ear piercing.
They could come down a little bit on the volume, yeah.
That's my only complaint about that, but it's not about the shows. It's just just a public announcement for y'all.
I'm kind of used to it. Doesn't bother me that much, but I don't. They probably didn't need to be that loud.
Yeah.
But
the Wizard of Oz. I don't think we had the full show when we saw the show, or they added to the show because there were parts of the show that I didn't remember.
Like what specifically?
There was some of the parts were a little longer than I remember.
Possible. It did seem to be a little bit longer of a show than we had originally.
And I don't think that we realized that it was over an hour and a half. It was like an hour and 40 minutes. It was like watching a full movie. So that was.
So Sherry says her favorite show was the Aqua Show.
I have to agree 100% with you, Sherry.
Yeah, I will say this.
And that changed also. Yes.
Yeah,
it was.
And she also says it was extremely loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will say before we move on from Wizard of Oz, the original puppeteer for Toto was much better than the one this time. But that's going to happen. You've got one person that starts a particular performance, and then you have an understudy or something that comes up and tries to take their place. They're never going to be they're not quite the same. They're not going to be the same,
right?
Not going to be the same.
I will say that the Wicked Witch did a phenomenal
did do a
job
good job
in her role and just everything. I think she was the same.
She may have been the same one.
Because she was familiar. So.
We do have some video. I didn't do a lot on it, but I did some.
Yeah.
So we'll have that when those episodes come out.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Aqua Show, that changed quite a bit.
It did.
Yes,
it did.
Sherry, since you were there, that the whole sequence with the wheel of death or whatever that was they called it, those two wheels that spun around and the guys were running inside of them.
That was all new.
That was all new. That was not in the original show. So that was different.
The skateboarders
were that was not part of the original show. So that's a new addition.
People are watching that maybe hasn't seen it, like skateboard. Like what the hell? How do you skateboard?
I mean, Aqua Show, and you got all this different stuff, and using the robotic arms to actually move stuff off the stage.
Yeah.
That was brand new, but that was pretty cool the way they did that.
Yeah.
Because they've got these robotic arms behind the stage that were part of the show.
And I wonder if that is what shut down that one show, because they said they had technical issues that one night. The one night that we were in the back having drinks with Dad.
I don't know. Yeah, Sherry says, the Wheel of Death was pretty cool. It was. I mean, who would expected to see a circus act like that in
the air over water?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
while moving.
There wasn't water. Knots. I mean, it's kind of neat the way they've got the floor that'll come up and give you a solid surface. On the water, but over the water, whatever it is, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an incredible show. And the solo aerialist that they did at the end when they brought the lady
Oh, the
back out.
contortionist.
No, the aerialist. So they had the one
The
aerialist
male and the
where there
female,
was a
yeah.
male and the female, and
Yeah.
then they had another time when the female came back out, and she was in the same contraption that the man was in, where you could spin around the waist
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
spin
yeah, yeah.
head over heels. That was new to the show. Sherry said, "What I thought was the weirdest part of the aqua show is most of it had nothing to do with swimming." Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, there were some diving components, but yeah, a lot of it had nothing to do with aqua, with water.
No,
You know.
I don't want to say the first show that there was more swim. There was the what's the old show where you have the ladies in the pool with their little caps on and they're doing
The
those
synchronized
things.
swimming.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
they
I mean
didn't
they had some of that.
they did have some,
Yeah,
wasn't
a
it?
little
I
bit.
don't
It
remember.
wasn't quite as much as they had before.
Yeah.
And that the slackline guys were that was pretty much the same.
I think so, yeah. Because I always liked that part of it.
But yeah, I mean it's a pretty cool show.
I still enjoyed
And,
the show,
yeah.
Some of
And
the
the divers
diving.
were pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, I guess how much can you sit there and watch people dive off a platform?
Yeah, it's got to be more interesting.
So they had just had so many different skills that were on display there. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Another show.
So that's that. The ice show.
The ice show.
Yeah. So we saw the ice show last year. We saw it this year. I feel like some things changed in it. I can't.
Some costumes changed.
Yeah, I think some of the costumes changed, and of course, the Starman or whatever he was that does all the ball juggling and things.
That was a different person.
That was a different person.
I did enjoy the first person better than the second person.
We have not seen the aqua show on any other ships, so
we have not. So we have no comparison and no basis.
Yeah. So that kind of blew me away last year. The guy with the juggling balls that were kind of like drones or something, because
he threw them and they came back.
He threw them and they boomerang back to him and all that. This guy, once again, didn't quite have the whole thing going on like the guy last year, but the guy last year was
he was very charismatic.
He was. I mean,
and that show where he would throw it, and it was like almost an extension of his hand, and then it would come back. And
right.
So that was different.
You can go back and watch some of the icon videos from last year that we did for the ice show, and it was very intriguing and compelling, the show that guy put on.
Mm-hmm.
This time was good, and I mean, I guess
the entire show was good.
He did everything technically right.
Yes.
There was just a little bit something. It was different from the guy last year.
And Sherry said it was a good ice skating show.
Yeah.
And that she enjoyed
the show.
The drone
was pretty
part
cool
too. And it was still a good show. We're not saying it wasn't. We were just comparing the two.
Yeah, just comparing the two.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, once again, the guy that did it last year, I think he was only in that show for a very short period of time, because he was, from what we heard at that time, he had been on, like the big TV shows, America's Got Talent and things like that. So he was kind of a really well-known juggler. Does Las Vegas shows, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And so he definitely had a whole persona, I guess, that he put on for his shows, and he was very good at it.
And that would be what you should do,
Sherry says, I like the theme better on the Oasis.
Okay. And again, we haven't seen any other ice skating on any other.
Yes, we have.
We have.
We saw they had an ice show Freedom. on Freedom of the Seas. Yeah,
Freedom. That's
and
right. I
that
did.
one was really good. I thought that one was a great show.
See, I think I like this one better.
Yeah,
because I don't really remember that last one. I have to go watch a video.
I guess so.
Yeah, it's been so long.
It's been a while.
And then were there any other shows that we went to? The comedy show.
Comedy show. We didn't make it to the Royal Theater for anything else.
Mm-mm.
They had a lot of other shows that I thought, oh, that would be cool to go see.
Yeah.
You know, like the backstory to the Effectors. I mean,
oh yeah,
that would have been a cool show to see because we saw the Effectors on Odyssey.
Yeah.
And then they've got
he was too
the
busy
too
gallivanting around. You guys.
Yeah. I'm the one gallivanting around. Okay. Well, somebody's got to shoot the video.
I know. But we didn't do a lot of trivia or like stuff like that, like entertaining around the. Like I feel like we were busy all the time, but and then you look back and you're like,
what did we do?
Yeah, like how come hours passed? And you're like, what did we do?
We walked from one side of the ship to the other.
That took an hour. Yeah.
That's where all our time went.
It really did.
I don't know how many steps we got in per day on that ship, but it was a bunch.
Look, but our room was literally. We could talk about. Let's talk about our room.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
While we're at it, let's bring that one up.
First, I'm going to say where we're located, and then I will go into that. But so we were on the 4th floor. We were located between the music hall and the casino. The actual location, was pretty cool. However, you had to go this way or this way. Brought you to the front of the ship or brought you to the back of the ship.
We were pretty much dead center between the elevator lobbies. So
Sherry agreed. She said the same thing. What did we do the whole time when we were there? We walked.
Yeah, it's like
back and forth.
It just the week disappeared.
It did.
Oh yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
The Journey show in the music hall was bad. Yes.
It was bad?
Yeah, she said it was bad. All right.
It was.
I will say this. What was the name of that band? DSB.
Yeah. I was told that there was another one that was better, right?
Well, we saw the band that we saw was Departure.
Oh, you're talking about...
I'm talking about Journey bands.
Off of... Okay.
Yeah.
Not on the ship.
So... What, 6 months ago or so? 4 months ago, something like that. We went, there was a Journey tribute band. I would have never said, oh yeah, let's go see a Journey tribute band. But a friend invited us, said, oh, these guys are great. You got to go see them. We went to see them and they were awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's like, wow, I didn't know that I knew so many Journey songs, and the guy just did a phenomenal job. The lead singer, the band, everything was just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
This one was just kind of so.
So we can talk about the room.
Back to the room.
Okay, so we had an ocean view room. It was the first time we had an ocean view room. So I was kind of waiting, go ahead. We can finish.
Yeah, he just didn't have quite the Steve Perry voice. That's for sure.
So I was thinking we were going to have this tiny little window. We got in there and the windows were huge.
Yeah, nice big.
Yeah, it was
window with a seat in it and all this. And it's like, okay, this is not too bad, And
it's
not a balcony, but it's still not bad.
And I'm looking out the window and I see 3 security cameras outside our window.
Right outside our window. Not security cameras that, it's pointed this way or it's pointed that way. No, these are the little dome security cameras. 3 of them.
The 360
degree
cameras.
Type dome cameras right outside our window.
And I don't know how you all feel about that kind of security outside your stateroom, because, I'm a believer. Public areas, absolutely. You should have cameras. You should have cameras everywhere. I agree with all that. But when it comes to that private area that you can see in your room, I am not comfortable with that at all.
I mean, if we're at sea and I want to lay in my bed and look out the window at the waves or whatever, buck naked, I should be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't feel comfortable doing that if you're
not with three cameras
three
outside
cameras sitting right outside your window.
room. And so I went to guest services, and of course, I'm like, I'm not comfortable with this, and so I talked to them and stuff like that, and they were like, well, we have to wait until everybody's on board to kind of see about moving a room and this, that, and the other. So we went to dinner. We got a phone call. We didn't get it. Did we get it that night or the next morning?
It was late that night.
Yeah. And so they said that they had a room that was comparable. It was an ocean view room.
Yeah.
And we were already on the 4th floor, and there's like 19, 20 floors or whatever. 19, 17, whatever.
19, 17, something like that.
And so they wanted to move us to the 3rd floor, and I was like, I don't really want to go down another floor, and there was nothing on that floor, and so I called, I went down again that next morning, and they were like, nope, there, you can either have that room or there's nothing else we can do. We're full, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay. And then they called later on that day, and they're like, look, we need to know what you want to do because we're going to give it up to somebody else. And so we decided to stay because while you were in the shower, I had an idea of covering partial window. And so when he came out, he goes, I had the same idea. And so we ended up putting a towel. We have magnetic hooks, and we put a towel up across the top
of the top half, the porthole window.
And so I was more comfortable with that. Yeah. I didn't get, when I was changing, I was across the other room. I didn't go anywhere near the bed. And when, in the evening, I would just shut the curtains. So, that's what made it uncomfortable for me. And otherwise, I mean, the trip was great, but I didn't like the cameras outside the room, and I'm surprised that they would have that.
Yeah, I don't know why they would have cameras right there. I mean, what are they looking at? I mean, I'm not sure. If they're not looking in the rooms, then why don't you have some kind of shield between the cameras and the rooms? If you're looking down the outside of the, look for man overboard cameras or whatever. I mean, what else are you going to see under there?
Yeah.
So
because above us was the lifeboats, I think. Well, there was that big platform above us, right?
Yeah, there was a.
Bless you.
Excuse me. There was some kind of platform right above our deck, so the cameras were mounted underneath that. So
has
what else
anybody
are they going to see?
experienced anything like that on their cruising journeys? Yeah. Any? I mean, I can't say that they didn't want to. I mean, could they have done better? I don't know, because the ship was full. So were there more rooms? I don't know.
But at least by putting the towel up, we couldn't see the cameras. And, if we wanted to sit down in the bed, maybe the cameras could see us, but at least we could still see the ocean and couldn't see the cameras.
Oh, if we were in the bed, those curtains were closed, honey.
Yeah.
If I was on the couch, then they were open. Like during the day, once I was dressed and, and all that, the curtains were open. But in the evening, no, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, so Sherry said we had a camera too, but it was pointed to the side. We think anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Anyway, so I guess that pretty much wraps up an overview, at least, of our week on the Icon.
I mean, and there's still stuff that we can talk about.
I will say this. So. In the end, guest services sent a letter to us. And
that's right, they did.
Yeah, and so they told us that on a future cruise, we can get 10% of what we paid for this cruise credited towards another cruise.
So just putting that out there. We have another cruise to go on.
Well,
Royal Caribbean.
Yep.
So we haven't booked it yet.
I haven't booked it.
No.
Well, we got it. We bought our whatever it is.
We got the future,
future cruise,
but we don't have anything chosen
everything
at
booked
this
yet.
time. So
Gotta-
putting that
gotta
out
do
there.
some
If
looking.
anybody wants to cruise with us, Destination Fun's going to tell you how much fun we are.
Yeah. Come September, late September, early October.
And Sherry can tell you how much fun we are too. So we just went with Sherry. The other Sherry.
We hardly saw Sherry.
Huh?
We had fun on the balloon drop.
Yes, we did. We did. And then we went to her room
And
too. And
the rest of the week it was like,
yeah, hey, what are you doing? Oh, we're over here.
Yeah.
Oh, we're over here. All right. Well, we have hit our time.
Yep.
We
It
don't like to
is.
stay more than an hour because we, want you guys we respect your time.
Yeah.
So,
And I got to get up early in the morning anyway.
What? Oh, you got to drive to
Yeah.
Hickory Hops.
I drive an hour, 3 hours. So yeah,
Okay.
over and 3 hours back. So
Nice.
long day
Yeah.
of driving. Let's see. How much did you pay him for the good news? Huh?
What good news? You talking about guest services?
She's got a way of working your magic in dealing with. All right. Yep. Everybody have a great night. You too, Alice. Tell Eddie good night for us. And we will see you guys on Friday.
Yeah. Friday.
And you too, Sherry. See you on Friday. See you and Danny on Friday.
For saying good things about you.
Things about.
I didn't have to pay that much. I just give a big smile.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We will see you next time.
Thanks for coming out, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Really, really appreciate it.
We certainly do. And from peaks to tides.
We'll see you on the next ride.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.